Here we go!
G'day folks and welcome back to the Vookcast, Australia's Nintendo podcast. My name's Oliver Brandt and in this episode I'm joined by Michael Godcast,
Hey team.
Angelo Valdivia,
Hey, Paisanos.
and Luke Henderson.
Hello there.
We've got a very, very long episode lined up for you. We've been off for almost 2 months now for various reasons, some of which will be discussed later in the show. But for the most part, it's just scheduling conflicts, people away and sick, and all sorts of things. So we have a lot to catch up on. So we'll quickly get into it. We'll go over everything that has happened in the last 2 months because there's way too much of it. But we will go over the big stuff and maybe some of the smaller stuff too. Alrighty. So something that happened just after we recorded the last episode. Nintendo is ending the Nintendo Switch Game Voucher program, which, as you know, is a program where you could buy a voucher at slightly below the cost of 2 digital games from Nintendo, and then redeem them within the next 12 months for 2 digital games that were first-party games from Nintendo. Their sale of them ends on January 30 next year, but if you bought on that day, they will still be valid for 12 more months, or, you know, if you happen to be listening in some parts of Europe, 24 months. They will still be able to be used then for the same lot of games, and more games will be added to it until they go away forever. As a reminder, it is a program that it was only for Switch games, not for Switch 2 games. I suspect that something similar will probably be introduced for Switch 2 games. But yeah, I'm not really super surprised that this is ending. Just because, first of all, like, it's Nintendo, so they're not just gonna keep doing kind of decent things forever. And also because, like, as the Switch one winds down, like, it just didn't really make sense to me that they were going to continue offering this. I would like to see this replaced with, like, a Nintendo Select style program for Switch 1 games. Don't think that's going to happen, but it would be nice. But yeah, I suspect we will see, like, a very similar Switch 2 voucher thing at some point in the future. But yeah, it also comes after they got rid of gold points, which were another good way to buy stuff digitally. So yeah, very interesting position to be in if you buy a lot of digital games like I do. Michael, you have largely switched to digital this generation of Nintendo consoles. How are you feeling about the fact that all of the things that make digital cheaper are going away?
Yeah, you know, I sort of felt that it was gonna come as soon as I made, like, the life choice to do this. But yeah, it is what it is. Like, it's annoying as hell. I think it's dumb. Like, I don't really think it's that much of a big hit for them. But I do agree. I hope that this just means that this will go away and they'll actually do, like, a select style thing where they just discount their Switch 1 first party games. I feel like if that's the case, then sure, that's totally fine. Because basically you're getting the same savings more likely than without buying the vouchers. But I'm intrigued to see what they do for Switch 2 stuff, if they do anything. I've got a feeling that they won't do anything at all, and it will just be, it is what it is. This is what happens when you have someone in a market-leading position, and they just have every single opportunity to wring out some sense from people.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair. Angelo, did you ever use the Nintendo Switch Game Voucher program?
Yeah, I used it a bunch. I really appreciated it. And not just me. I'm also in a group chat with a bunch of friends where we all share a Nintendo family account, so we can all get cheaper Switch Online memberships. And yeah, I you know, we all just frequently um, would share whenever we'd get like the vouchers and things, and line up certain game purchases, particularly when Animal Crossing came out. That was a really big one. That pretty much all of us got these vouchers and just redeemed one, and then got whatever other game we wanted outside of that. So yeah, I think it's a huge bummer that we're missing out on something like this, because sure, like Nintendo might eat a little bit of the cost there, but like it's digital games. Digital games are always more expensive, or usually more expensive than physical ones. Um, Upon release, especially at the beginning of a launch cycle or a console's launch. Um, so yeah, I'm quite disappointed this is going away, especially given that at this point in time, pretty much just anything to do with Nintendo is becoming more expensive. We've got price rises happening in America just for Switch One, plus all of its accessories and things like that as well. And I think even some accessories for Switch Two. No longer the gold coin deal anymore, where you can just take away 5 to 10% of a game purchase anymore by having bought other Nintendo games, or even redeeming the fact that you've bought a cartridge game. Yeah, just everything is just at a premium at the moment, which is just quite hard to swallow, I feel, with everything just getting so much more expensive, and video games usually being the thing that people like to turn to sort of take their minds away from like a lot of stresses, and now that's becoming a bit of a stressful thing in itself to be part of. So
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth noting that like the Switch game voucher program, first of all, like didn't actually get introduced on Switch One until about 18 months into the console's life. So I expect we'll probably see something similar to on the Switch 2, but yeah, it is a bummer in the meantime that, like, especially because like a lot of these games are like getting a sort of second life on Switch 2, where they are running a little bit more smoothly, and some of them have been updated to make use of the new hardware. So the fact that you now just have to buy them, well, soon you will have to buy them at full prices, is a bit of a bummer. Um,
yeah, just everything about digital games on Switch is just more expensive, right? Like, to get the correct SD card now for Switch 2 is so much more expensive than what we would have paid for normal SD cards. Prices of Nintendo first-party games, we've already seen signs of them going up with Mario Kart World. Just yeah, and now this going away, like, just seems that there's no way to sort of like make things a little bit easier for people, especially when Nintendo was all about trying to get as many consoles into people's families. For the children, for the parents, etc. And like now it's just going to cost even more. Sure, we've got like game card sharing or whatever it's called now, but even so, like it's Pokemon ZA is going to be like $90 at this point, right from the get go. Whereas with a voucher, you could basically still have $45 left over to. Sorry, if you paid another $45, you get a voucher and still be able to redeem that for a whole other game if you wanted to, like another Pokemon game or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Which you can still do, because that comes out on October, and then
Sure,
sales
yeah.
on January 30. But yeah, for like future games, like where like the next set of Pokemon games, which is assuredly going to come out next year, that won't really be much of an option, especially because it could be Switch 2 exclusive, and yeah, everything just across the board is just a little bit more expensive, and that is a bit of a bummer. We will move on to the next story here. We won't spend too long on this. 8-Bit is back with another controller. It's the Pro 3 controller. It comes in a very nice GameCube style, purpley, indigo-y kind of color. And it's for those who don't know, the Pro controller, the Pro line of controllers in 8-Bit line, they kind of shaped like Super Nintendo controllers, but with handles and all of the extra buttons and stuff. But the interesting thing about this one is that you can swap the A, B, X, Y buttons. They're magnetically attached, so you can take them out and then swap them around to be in different positions. So you can have the Nintendo layout or the Xbox layout. But it also has like back buttons and rumble and gyro and Hall effect triggers and TML sticks, and the whole thing. Obviously, it doesn't have a C button, which makes it less useful for Switch 2, but still quite a nice controller. Anybody planning on picking on one of these up?
I mean, I'd love one, but I
Yeah.
had no plans on picking one up just because I don't need. I've got more controllers than I could ever possibly use. So,
Yeah, I'm just recalling that. I think it was before we started the podcast, someone remarked that I and Neo has way too many consoles. Like every week there's a new console or whatever. And 8-bit do exactly that for controllers. Like every week there's a new controller. I'm like, oh, okay, they're making this now. Cool. But just
I
out of
think they
curiosity.
just announced a new mouse as well, like 2 days ago.
Sweet, cool. Out of curiosity, the swappable buttons, you have to still program them like with software on a computer, right? You cut, like swapping the buttons out doesn't automatically program what button that is.
That's correct. Yeah, you have to use either an app on your phone or do it on a PC.
Yeah, right. I want to see the absolute monster who plays with the Y button at the bottom of that diamond. I want to see that.
no. So it's only A and B. It can swap positions, and X and Y can swap.
A,
You
B,
can't
and
put
X,
Y.
Y. Yeah.
Oh,
can't put-
what are we doing here? What's...
So, and for those curious, Nintendo is the correct layout. Xbox are the ones that screwed everything up. So, Nintendo is the actual correct layout of controller.
Well, it's arguable, but I do think that Nintendo's layout is better.
It's
Well, wait. So
Seems
isn't,
like
isn't
that's
Xbox's
such-
layout this? Isn't Xbox's layout the same as Dreamcast? That means that there's two consoles that have the same layout. So wouldn't Xbox be the more correct?
I mean, there's a lot of Nintendo consoles that have that layout.
So
Yeah,
that's only one
PlayStation
publisher is what I
manufacturers.
PlayStation controllers, if you remember the Super PlayStation, the console that they were working with Nintendo, they had, the AB and all that in the same order. When PlayStation made their own in Japan, circle is considered yes and X is no. So circle, where A is the confirm button and X is the no button in Japan.
Yeah,
PlayStation
technically
America-
the PlayStation controller is the same as the Nintendo layout.
Correct.
Technically.
But PlayStation in America went, well, no, in America we use X for yes, because, you cross out on the box and all that. So they flipped it, and then Xbox just followed PlayStation. And Sega
On the
followed them as
PS5,
well.
you can set at a system level that circle is confirm and X is back.
Yeah, because they changed it in Japan to be that circle was the default in Japan was that circle was no and X was yes, which is the first time they'd ever done that. So
I love
It was
how
fun
much
playing
of
a
a
Metal Gear Solid game and having
big
that problem.
story that was when that came out. I'm just like, that's affecting 0.1% of people, if that. It was so wild.
But no, I changed my PS5 to be circle confirmed just because I play so much Switch, and then when I have to go to the PS5, I get fucked up on it. Same with Xbox as well. I wish that there was a way to do it on Xbox where I can just change B to confirm, because it is annoying.
Oh, I just wish
I
that
think
Xbox still had, up is down and down is up, like inverted look controls on a system level, like they did with the 360. Pisses me off still that they took that out.
Alrighty. There's been some movement on the Legend of Zelda movie, the live action Legend of Zelda movie. So this got announced and then got a release date, and then its release date moved, even though it was so far out that nobody would have even remembered. But anyway, we now have the casting for Zelda and Link. So Zelda is being played by 20-year-old English actress Bo Bragason. I hope that's how you say it. And Link will be played by 16-year-old English actor Benjamin Evan Ainsworth. So Ainsworth has been in films like Pinocchio, where he played Pinocchio. And Bo Bergeson has been in a couple different things. Nothing super major though. Neither of them have had particularly big roles. You could argue that Ainsworth's live-action Pinocchio remake was a big one, but I would not argue that.
Well, so he was on set as Pinocchio, but then they replaced his performance with the puppet in After Effects. After the filming was done, they did it. So he was involved with it, but he wasn't you didn't see him on screen at the end of the day. So
yeah. I think the most interesting about this is that they're both quite young, and there is that 4-year age gap, which is kind of interesting as well. I think they both look reasonably what I would expect Zelda and Link to look like. But Michael, give us your opinion because you're the film guy here.
I gave my opinion in the chat when this happened. I think Bo's pretty spot on. I don't want to judge anybody for their looks. Like this, it just feels weird to me. I think if you're comparing Link to the classic Link that everyone thinks of, he probably isn't as quote unquote traditional. But like, I'm sure he'll do fun. I guess we'll see.
You know, once they slap a couple of fake elf ears on his head and give him a green hat, he'll probably look exactly like we expect Link to look like too. So, and let's not forget, one of the Links is the goddamn head is more like a football. So,
yeah, I think I said in the chat that he looks like a Rings of Power elf, which I don't know if that's derogatory or not, but I stand by that.
I mean, it is filming in New Zealand
and bright eyes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I really don't like this hole that the internet's kind of dug itself into, where actors have to look like the characters. It really just bottlenecks not bottlenecks, but it really shoehorns everything and makes it hard to really disassociate like film from games and vice versa. Like they can be two completely different things, even if one is inspired by the other. And like the idea of having to have actors look exactly like the person or the character, like it's never really been much of a big deal for someone like me. So like I think it'll be fine, don't get me wrong, but like it really just comes down to acting and whether or not like the portrayal of this character is going to be good. I mean, like Link's not supposed to talk, right? Or at least we're not supposed to hear Link. Link talks in the games obviously because other characters react to what he says, apparently. But like we'll see what that is for this film. Mario also wasn't supposed to talk and couldn't shut him up in the film, so
it would be deeply funny if like he just doesn't talk throughout the entire film.
I hope that like there's just like a really dark, gritty, somber moment where he gives an "excuse me, princess," but like in a real dark way, not like an excuse. He's like, "Well, excuse me, princess." And I hope he looks at the camera when he says it.
I think it'd be hilarious if he did talk, but it was just in sign language. Not like hilarious, like it'd be funny, but it'd be like it'd be a cool thing.
He's 100% not gonna wear like the iconic green tunic until like the last 10 minutes of the film. It's going to be something where he's just like wearing regular fucking peasant clothes. And then, you know, in the last 10 minutes he'll get it. Because that's how movies are now. Movies that are related to other pieces of media are like, oh, we can't let them have the full thing from the get-go. We need to tease it out a bit.
But it could be more of a Breath of the Wild kind of thing where he's more in a blue garb rather than the green. Or maybe he ends up being more like Twilight Princess where it's like chainmail under like a dark green garb.
Yeah, I'd be amazed if it's anything like the traditional costume. I feel like that's going to be super jarring on film. I reckon it'll be quite different.
But if it is, just imagine how much fun the internet will have with green screen effects if he's wearing a green outfit all the time.
It'll just be blue. But the thing that would be interesting the most, I think, would be the hat, the cap. Like, because it always had to look silly on Link, right? It's a sleeping cap. That's what he's wearing. Let's not kid ourselves here, but like to see it in a film like this, him running around with a green sleeping cap would be quite amusing if they went that route.
Unless it's the talking one, which the name I can't remember off the top of my head.
The Minish cap.
Yeah, but the actual character's name, I can't remember it. But yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be a fun way of doing it.
I think it's Cappy. Completely different character.
But also
different talking hat.
Like Link often has a companion of sorts, like a little creature companion. Like we've got Midna, we've got Navi, etc. I wonder if they'll give him a companion in this film. Maybe that's going to be the voice of Link. Or
They're putting Tinkle in there, and they've got Chris Pratt to play him.
Don't give me hope. I want that so bad. Don't give me hope.
I guess it really just depends on if this is based on any particular like Legend of Zelda game, or is it just going to be its own thing?
And that's the thing. I'm 100% certain that it's just going to be its own thing that is not really drawing from too much else. I think they'll make like little references here and there in the same way that like Breath of the Wild makes little references here and there, right? Like,
yeah,
it'll just.
I can't wait for the official press release where they tell us where this fits in the Zelda timeline.
I still love that they made that official timeline, and then like every game since has been like, let's not really place it. That's just so good. Anyway, there was a new Pokemon Legends ZA trailer. Nobody cares about it, but there is a Switch 2 hardware bundle for it. So going into the holidays, there will be a Mario Kart World bundle and a Pokemon Legends ZA Switch 2 bundle, and yeah, obviously that's both are going to sell gangbusters over the holiday period. So
Well, the Mario Kart bundle was only in production until later this year anyway. So essentially,
yeah,
once
it will be in
once it's out of
production
stock,
until after this holiday period.
yeah, but once
Is
it's out
this
of stock,
it's going to be the
gone.
same as it's only going to be in production like the fucking 3D Mario All Stars is only going to be in production,
Yeah.
and then like it was available like 48,000 years after it stopped being made.
Well, like all the extremely limited release of the Animal Crossing console that like got 6 reprints, and then yeah,
I think at one point Harvey Norman ended up with so many of them they still couldn't get rid of them.
yeah. You gotta stop putting shit in my script.
That wasn't me. That was not me.
Anyway, there's a Lego Game Boy. It looks really nice. Coming out on October 1st, and it is $100, which is pretty good, all things considered, for Lego sets.
Well, more so considering that it's Lego Nintendo. One of those on their own would have seen that price bump up, but combined, I expected it to be much more so.
Like Lego people are just like the intense copium of like $100 is good. Like that's wild to me. Like it is. Oh my god.
Look,
Like we can talk about it being $100 and like, you know, it's fine. Like it's not, you know, it could be worse, but I don't think it's good.
I haven't been able to buy any of these Nintendo Lego collab things, but like this one, yeah, I was like, oh, it's only $100. I'll get that. So I'm absolutely the fool.
I remember Angelo's comment. That's why I put it in the notes that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like as far as Lego goes, it's not too bad. As far as anything goes, it's ridiculous. And yeah. Anyway, it's almost a 1-to-1 scale replica. The battery cover does not come off. I'm not sure why that's in the notes. I don't think anybody was expecting that it would support AA's.
But they said it's a 1-to-1 replica in the press release, but it's like the battery cover doesn't come off. It's like, well, if that came off, even fake batteries or not, if that came off, then sure, I'd call it a 1-to-1. But because it doesn't,
it's a 1-to-1 scale replica.
1-to-1 scale, which is not the same as Anyway,
yeah.
It also doesn't play games, so it's not really a 1-to-1 replica.
Also has 2 interchangeable cartridges for Super Mario Land and Link's Awakening. Screen completely replaced with like it has like little lenticular cards, which is kind of fun. Like I recreated an old Game Boy ad for this product.
It's funny that they've got a fake cartridge for Super Mario Land, considering that's like pretty much the most forgotten Mario platformer to Nintendo. Like even Super Mario Brothers 2 is praised more than Mario Land, I feel. I would have thought they would have put like, you know, Kirby's Dream Land or something in there instead, but
I think it would have been goated if they put Tetris in there. That would have been just
absolutely. Yeah, what are we doing? Michael, why aren't you running the Lego division of Nintendo? Like, that's exactly right. Holy crap.
Because if I was running it, this would be fucking $550. Like, it should be priced.
I just had the worst idea ever. What if the whole plan is, once they've released this, every few months they'll drop blind bags, and the blind bag will give you a new cartridge and a new card for Pokemon, Kirby,
$30,
Tetris.
Yeah.
That's how they make. That's why it's so cheap. Is because they want you in now, and then 6 months from now they'll be like, "Hey, here's the Series 1 of Game Boy cards, and you'll have 12 to earn." And yeah,
but you know that some YouTuber or TikToker is going to buy like 20 of these, and then get each cartridge, and then just reprint their own stickers on there, and be like, "Oh, look, you know, I've got this collection of games here," and then hawk it for like $1 million.
probably.
I think in 100 years' time, when like the world is collapsing and the sun is cooking everything like a fucking laser, we're gonna look back and look at blind boxes as the worst thing that's ever happened to humanity. It's just so fucking awful. I hate everything
Genuinely,
about it.
Going into like EB Games or even like Kmart now, there's so many blind boxes, and it's like
Kmart has like a blind box section. Like it's just all blind box stuff.
Yeah, and like half of them are like for like YouTubers that I look up because I've never heard of them before, and they have like 40 million fucking subscribers, and they are all just like 6-year-olds. Like that. This is the landscape of toys right now. Is that like most of it is just blind boxes from YouTubers, literally just exploiting gambling for children. Like it's insane. And then that's kind of how this whole like Labubu thing happened. I can't believe it took this long to talk about Labubu on the podcast, but we did take 2 months off, so you know. But,
I will happily admit I saw somebody make a custom Labubu, but instead of the animal face, they used Lego. They called it a Lego.
So here's the thing. One of the reasons that we didn't have episodes for a while is because I went to China for a week for work. And a fun thing about China is that that's where the Labubus come from. Like they have like the Pop Mart stores and all of that, right? Like that's where they come from. But like you can just walk into like a mall in China and ask for a specific Labubu, and they will just like give it to you. So like this whole market, the secondary market around Labubus, where like it's like, oh, it's a blind box, and then I can sell it for a bunch of money. You can just go to China. Like, I mean, obviously it's not cheap to fly to China, but like if you're already in China, I was seriously considering it. I was like, I could just buy like 60 of these things right now because they cost like $4 a piece in China. Like I could just buy 60 of these right now, come back to Australia, sell like one a week, and then, you know, I'm a millionaire. Like
This is the question mark profit meme.
Yeah, exactly.
This honestly reminds me 1,000% of Beanie Babies. When people are like, "Oh, my Beanie Baby collection's going to be worth so much money," when no, it's not. Never worth anything.
Every like 2 years, like the millennials in marketing reinvent Beanie Babies. And this is the result of that. This is what we get.
I love that we're sitting in our ivory tower like we didn't participate in Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh or Tarzos or anything like that, or even just a Lucky Dip at Toy World.
Brother, I still participate in all
That's
of
what I'm
these
saying.
things.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all of us, like, it's just bad because it's video games.
I will happily admit, apart from when Pokemon cards first started coming out in the 90s, when I got some then when I was like 14, since then I've only ever bought one pack of Pokemon cards, and that was from the Pokemon store in Tokyo.
I've never bought a Pokemon card in my life.
Of Yu-Gi-Oh cards last week, so
don't you do like Lorcana or something?
Yes, and they've sent me I've got like 2,000 cards, and they've sent me every single one of them.
Got him.
Oh my god.
I look forward to bring it back to the Game Boy. I look forward to seeing like again some YouTuber just like stick in a Game Boy motherboard or something like that and use this as an actual Game Boy. That'll actually be quite a fun little project. Me to giggle at for 5 seconds and move on with my life.
Yeah, I probably will not buy one of these because like as we've discussed at length, we are all at an age where we just don't have room or time for this kind of shit littering up our shelves. So.
I mean, if you look at my wall, it's blank, so I got plenty of room. If you look at Luke and Michael's walls, they got no room.
I have a Lego droid behind me in a box that's Lego. I haven't built it in like 2 months.
I have like 4 unbuilt Gundams, but like that's a different thing. That's unrelated.
So, I also want this because like I missed out on getting the NES one. I just didn't have the money at the time, and same with the Power Block. The Question Block. I really wanted the Question Block one because that looked amazing with Bob on Battlefield and stuff on it. But yeah, you just can't get those anymore. So as soon as this came out, and yeah, it wasn't like insanely priced. It's still kind of bullshit, but it wasn't insanely priced. I was like, hell yeah, I'll get onto this one.
And this one is the only one that I have, and it's in my wardrobe, unbuilt in the box in the fucking corner.
Unbuilt? You didn't even open it. Damn.
No.
It's an investment.
Lego's for fucking nerds.
So he just buys the nerd stuff and sticks it in a closet where it belongs.
Yeah, 100%.
It needs to know its place, you know.
That's amazing.
Alrighty. So there have been a couple presentation-y type things in between when we last recorded them. Now, there was a partner showcase, Nintendo Direct in July, and then last week there was an Indie World.
I genuinely forgot that there was a partner showcase. Like, I was like, was there?
I missed it. That and the other one. Like, I haven't seen anything from these.
Between when
let me tell you, you didn't miss it.
I didn't think so.
Between our last recording and now, there's been a Nintendo Direct, an Indie World, and a Pokemon Presents.
Usually this would be like a gold mine for us. We'd be like, holy shit, we actually, recorded a podcast after these things. Nope.
But yeah, nothing. There's nothing really worth talking about. I mean, there is. There's some interesting stuff in there. Like Monster Hunter Stories 3, coming to Switch 2, looks really, really nice. But it's a Monster Hunter Stories game, so like it'll sell like 2 million copies across all platforms, and then nobody will ever talk about it again, because it's just Monster Hunter, but it's a creature catcher Pokemon game. That's it. But it does look nice. It does look.
It looks visually very nice.
Yeah. I feel like they've really like honed in on the art style that works for that series. I would actually be really
The art
interested
style is just
in...
Breath of the Wild.
No, the art style is it's like
It was
it's
a
closer to the
cel-shaded
recent-
chibi style that they went with on the DS, and this is like its final form, if you will. It's evolved over the years to sort of be.
This is closer to recent Fire Emblem games like Three Houses and shit.
Yeah,
I
Fire
wish-
Emblem's
I'm-
more accurate.
I'm not kidding. During the direct in our chat, I said, "Hey, is this Monster Hunter Fire Emblem?" Because I was thinking this looks a hell of a lot like Fire Emblem.
I mean,
Yeah,
just give it to the Fire Emblem devs. For a go.
I mean, I think the one positive thing from, or not the one positive thing, I'm being like super negative, but you know what I mean. From these directs, like I looked at like this trailer, I'm like, hey, like it's nice to have a direct and like things are running well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I'm just looking like, oh, cool, this looks good, nice. Like no one has to be
Meanwhile, the
like, oh,
most-
okay, I'm running this game in like a fucking like a frame rate of like 5.
And meanwhile, like the only thing that I was excited for from the tidbits of news that I took from these directs was UFO 50 coming to Switch 2. I'm like, hell yeah!
That's a banger.
But then like also Mina the
It also-
Hollow like got like
It also
120
learned,
has like 120 frames or something like that. I'm like,
yeah, that's sick.
does it need that?
Also learned that UFO 50 wasn't out on outside of PC. I just assumed that it was out on everything.
No.
Like it's one of those games that just, I don't know. I just assume it existed everywhere because it just looked like one of those games that released
Yeah.
everywhere, but it just didn't.
Yeah.
I got it on
No,
I got it for Steam Deck when it launched, but never for Switch because it wasn't out yet. So that's where I got it.
I think part of that was like some of the games were like mouse and keyboard kind of focused. But they did do the work to make it work on Steam Deck just fine. So makes sense that it's now on Switch. Anyway, yeah. So Monster Hunter Stories 3 looks really nice. Coming to other platforms as well, which is something that I think we'll see more of throughout this generation. Is that like there's going to be very few things that are like made just for Nintendo. Because now that we're kind of batting in the same ballpark, it's like there's no real need to make something specifically for Nintendo anymore.
Yeah.
So Nintendo doesn't really have to.
I think we might see the launching first on console. This console, but it'll still launch on PC at the same time.
Yeah.
But I think like Square Enix, they sort of said a few years ago when Final Fantasy VII remake, whatever, part 2 bombed. They were like, yeah, look, we're done with platform exclusives because everyone else was like, yeah, I don't know why you keep doing that. So I think everyone else is going to be doing the same thing this generation going forward.
That's true.
Just doesn't make sense.
Meanwhile, let's talk about a Square Enix Switch 2 exclusive game, which is The Adventures of Elliot the Millennium Tale. People have been dunking on this game's name. I think this is the most normal name that Square Enix has put on a game in years. I think this is a completely fine name.
I mean,
It's not a name. It's just it's literally just a random name generated game. Like it's random name generated game 27 at this point. Triangle strategy.
It's like the most normal name in the sense that like it makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like grammatically, but like it's still dumb. Like just goddamn, man. Like just have a normal, like whoever names the games at fucking Square Enix, just take a chill pill. Just find 2 words, put them together. I mean, like actually, that's what they're doing. So take that back. Don't do that.
I will say
I don't see this as any more or less offensive than like The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. That's what this level is, right? It's like it's the something of someone, the thing, and that's what it is, right?
Look, I don't want to offend Elliot's, but like Elliot is just such a choice, like a genuine choice to use here. It's intriguing. I feel like this is a weird Japanese translation from a name
Kyle Busman
that I'm
said
not understanding.
in his video that Elliot was a choice, and he goes, and I get it, I'm named Kyle. It's like, yeah, That's like I get what they're going for, the adventures of somebody, and it makes sense. But it's like Elliot's just a weird name to go with. I don't know if I could have picked a better name. Like, I'm not saying that I think, Michael would be a better name, or Steve, or Tony, or whatever. But I'm just
Alfonso.
saying the adventures
Enrique.
of Alfonso. I don't know. I just think my only issue with the name is just like it just feels like they wanted to stay generic, but they still reached a little beyond it. Like, they could have just called it The Adventures of Elliot, and that would have been fine. I think the subtitle is the unnecessary part for me. But
But
yeah.
No, go on, Michael.
I was gonna say, I understand what Ollie's trying to say with like it does have that same vibe as like an adventure, like Adventures of Zelda, like whatever, right? It just somehow, I don't know what it is about it. It's still incredibly Square Enix at the same time. Like, I agree, like from a concept point of view, like it is 100% the same as that, but like it just also isn't at the same time, and it's just really odd.
But like, my point, right, is that like when the last few games, specifically from the studio, have been Triangle Strategy, Octopath Traveler, and various Day Life, which is not even a words.
I had forgotten about that one.
100%. This is a 100% acceptable good title.
I think I'd also
Traveler
just
makes way
prefer
more
that.
sense out of all of those. Octopath Traveler is the only one that actually makes sense for what the game is. Like, it is 8 different characters, and you go through their different stories. Like, that makes way more sense than, like, even this, like, what is the Millennium Tales?
Well, we'll find out when we play the game.
Oh, you'll find out when you play the game. Like, I'm not playing. But like, look, the name sucks. There's a little bit on that. But like, my issue with this is that Square Enix, like, I really like the aesthetic of these like HD, 2D, 3D, whatever you want to call them, games, right? I think they're gorgeous. But the problem is that like with every one of these games that just sound ridiculous from the get-go and is going to stop me from playing the game, because right from the get-go, I don't know what this game is, so I don't really care about anything past that. But because there are so many of these, like, in my head, I can't run through which one of these actually stands out. And so when a new one comes out, I should be excited, but I'm like, oh, it's another one I just don't care about. And it's hard for me to actually find one that I do enjoy. In saying that, as Michael and I think are going to talk about later, like playing Dragon Quest 3, like, that's completely different because it's a remake of a series we're already familiar with. Whereas here, like, we're getting all these games with ridiculous names that just look and sound all the same because it's just gibberish, and it just becomes noisy and diluted.
A lot of folks,
and that's
had issues with the
my
fact
biggest gripe with this.
Octopath Traveler 0 basically started its trailer in the moment that the Elliot trailer ended, and a lot of people didn't realize that it was a completely different game.
Right?
See, that's where we differ, because I did immediately, because the HD, I'm going to be mad about this, the HD 2D art style is being ruined by new HD 2D games. Because, right, you look at the original HD 2D game, which was Octopath Traveler, and like the entire environments, like there were some like, high resolution things, which
Sorry, my cat's sniffing the camera.
There were some like high resolution things that like made it like, look a bit pretty, but for the most part, like when you saw buildings and environments and stuff, they also used that pixel art thing. It was like a diorama style thing. Now it's just like full 3D environments. It's just a 3D environment, and the only thing that is pixelated is the characters. And like, that sucks ass, right? Like, you look at like,
and the texture work is
Octopath
unfiltered.
Traveler.
Like, that's their aesthetic. Like,
but like, even Pokemon
just a
was
full
doing it. Like Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold,
Yeah,
they look perfectly
think-
fine. Like,
Yeah, I'm not saying it looks bad. I'm saying it's not HD 2D, which is an art style that was established in Octopath Traveler and then went into Triangle Strategy, and both cases had that sort of pixel art applying to the buildings as well. I think that's a really interesting and dynamic art style. They should do some more stuff like that. And then immediately after that, they just completely abandon that, and they're just like full 3D environments, pixel art characters. That's it.
but again, I think
it's
that's the way that they're
less
trying to
HD,
diversify and
2D.
change. Yeah, I think they're just trying to change. Like, it's an evolution of the look, and like in some respects, I do agree. But also, like, I feel like they're doing this in a way to sort of distinguish the game's look going forward, because a lot of these games, going by the titles, it's hard to remember which one is which at this point.
I think it's more just HD 3D than it is HD 2D at this point.
Well, I mean,
there's
the
nothing wrong with
HD
it.
thing just makes no sense in itself, right? Like,
Well,
the
see,
fact
this
that
is
it
the
has
thing,
HD
right? Is that
so
like,
silly.
they say HD 2D, right? Which is supposed to be like an HD implementation of the old 2D art style, but it's not anymore. It's just not. This is not HD 2D. You look at like Dragon Quest 1 and 2, and like it is literally just the characters. There is nothing else about that game that is pixel art. It's just a 3D world like Trials of Mana, right? That's exactly what it is. It's just a regular ass 3D world, and they slap some
I
2D
understand.
in it.
I understand what you're saying. Like, it definitely is evolving. I feel like if you were to like survey like 100 people and ask them what style is this, I think the vast majority would say HD 2D, even if it has changed.
Okay, but there are other games, even predating Octopath Traveler, that use this exact implementation of like a sort of relatively simplified 3D world with 2D pixel art characters, right? So it's like, are they HD 2D retroactively now as well?
I got it.
It's yeah.
Yeah, but again, we're getting upset with
special and interesting.
We're getting upset with the name of a genre when even like people have the same arguments about like Castlevanias, etc., because they've changed radically over time.
It's not really a genre. It's supposed to be an in-house art style for these games, and it's not anymore.
It's a visual genre. Like it's a particular look that draws people in. Like again, it catches my eye for a moment, and then I look at the title and I'm like, nah. And I feel like I think that's the thing. Is like, I think that's the thing to be upset about. Is that like the titles themselves just don't distinguish enough from the game and draw people in. Whereas the visual style is absolutely what a lot of people do go for. They look at this and they're like, oh, it's another one of these. I like these games. But apart from that, I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry, I'd kill for a game in the key art style because the key art looks fucking sick. Like, it's really nice.
Anyway, The Inventors Valley, it has a demo. It's quite fun. It's like a Zelda-y kind of game, which makes
I put time into the demo, and
better,
I quite enjoyed it, especially because it's not turn-based. It's one of the things I dislike about the Octopath. Basically, everything that uses this art style is all turn-based battles. I'm not a turn-based guy. I prefer more action, and this is not. This is all real-time battles, so I prefer it. And I had fun with it. So that stupid boss though kept kicking my ass.
My last thing that I'll say on this game is the one thing that I loved about the trailer is where the narrator's like, look at this character, it's a fairy. And then it says, look at me, I'm a fairy.
Totally.
Okay, so the entire trailer, I loved it in the direct because it's like, for some reason, every now and then Square Enix does this thing where it's like, let's describe something that literally everybody knows already, as if it's the first time this has ever been explained to anybody. And like, they do that throughout this entire trailer, and it's so funny. Anyway,
I will say just from like, sorry. So one last thing, just from like a design point of view, I find it really dumb that the fairy takes up more screen real estate than the fucking character. Like that's just really stupid.
Yeah, hopefully you can scale that. But I also wish that Nintendo wouldn't have the same enthusiasm voice actor for all their directs. Because when they make puns, it's I don't know. I just like they do it with the indie worlds. They have different people doing the voice of the indie world. It's like it's new console generation Nintendo. You could get a different person in to read the script for the Nintendo Directs.
In a world for them that they get to keep their like as long as we don't have to hear the fucking like world premiere shit that like Jeff Keighley puts on like all 6 of his shows.
Oh my god!
I'm happy.
I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for that. I'm just saying, instead of having the same prepubescent teen voice going, did you know in this game? No, please, enough. Move on. So.
Speaking of moving on, Plants vs. Zombies is back.
Smooth.
Fucking hell.
There's an HD remaster / remake-ish kind of thing of Plants vs. Zombies.
Hell yeah.
Has local co-op, and it has the walnut bowling minigame, new games, new modes, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, it's coming to Switch and Switch 2. On Switch 2, it's going to have mouse support, which is very fun.
Please don't monetize it, EA. Just for the love of fun.
No. It's a full. It's
they don't need to. They're charging you $30 for it.
Yeah.
It's $30.
Yeah.
Like it was already on iPhones and iPads 15 years ago for like $5. But now they're charging 6 times as much.
I'll be honest. When I first saw the trailer, though, in the direct, I honestly thought it was PvZ3. I thought, they're going to bring the third one, the new one they're still working on. I thought they're going to bring that to no. Okay. I don't know why, but they decided to remake the first one, which I'm
only because there is.
No, but I like
because
the
there is
one.
a third one coming. There might be a third one, which is why they're re-releasing this one, right? That's what they do. Like when they stray too far from the point, They're like, oh no, we're going to make another entry in order to get people back for that one. We've got to remake the first one to remind everyone that, oh, we're aware of its roots, etc., etc.
Wait, when they remake fucking Angry Birds so they can sell new Angry Birds games because Sega is
You
100%
mean like
going to do
Xbox
that.
are doing this month with Gears of War? They're remaking a remake of an original.
Although, if you already bought the remake from 10 years ago, they give you the new remake for free.
Only if you bought it digitally. If you bought it physically, go fuck yourself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I got a code.
Yeah.
And I thought I bought it physically, but I got a code the other day.
But you may have, they gave it away so many times as well. The other thing too is the remake, the one that's coming out, isn't actually coming out on disc anywhere in the world. Xbox, like, you want this game, you fucking buy it digitally, or you don't get it. Except if you're on PlayStation 5, you can get it on disc.
I mean, I assume it's coming to Game Pass. I don't know why you'd buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying it's stupid that their first party product isn't coming on a disc.
Look, in this regard, I'm probably going to be a sucker and get this because I do like Plants vs. Zombies. So I will be part of the problem in this regard.
I mean, it's the best Plants vs. Zombies game, and it actually is very, very good. So, like, as far as remakes are concerned, like, cool.
Yeah, the gameplay of the original game, even the PC version of that game, still holds up today. So it obviously doesn't look as great because, you know, it's 15 odd years old, but visually, gameplay wise, it's still immaculate gameplay. So I'm happy for more.
Yep. Now PopCap just needs to bring back Peggle 1.
Hell
PopCap
yeah.
even still around?
Hell yeah.
I thought they got shut down.
No, PopCap's they're still making. They're making.
No, I
PVC3.
feel like they had like massive layoffs and they're like just 6 people now.
I mean,
No,
they are a
Blue Mobile.
games like studio, so they definitely had massive layoffs. That's like part and parcel.
EA
That's
Studio.
it, right?
No, so Glue, which is a mobile group that EA owned, they got hit pretty bad, but PopCap, as far as I'm aware, is still pretty much okay. They weren't unimpacted, but they didn't lose the vast majority of their staff.
Well, that's good.
Do you remember when Half-Brick was making good games? What a time.
Yeah.
Mobile gaming was
Oh,
really
man,
good in
Half-Brick.
like 2010. Like, I feel like
They
that was
did
like the peak of mobile games. And
Jetpack
then it was-
Joyride, that was their game, yeah?
Jetpack
Yeah,
Joyride.
Jetpack Joyride.
Yeah, that game
Fruit
ruled.
Ninja wasn't too bad. And there was one more they did that was amazing.
Hey, Fruit Ninja's still going, you know? They did
Yeah.
Bluey
Yeah.
Fruit Ninja.
Yeah.
Dude.
Where you
Fish Out of Water.
you
Fish
are
Out of Water was
Bluey and
alright.
you slice up things, or you slice up Bluey? Because
You slice
That's a
up
whole different
fruit
thing.
as Bluey.
okay,
They're like they look like the fruit from Bluey. That's it.
I
Anyway,
will say
we need to keep getting through things.
Here we go.
Do we?
We just need to keep going. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, they got a new trailer for it. They said that it is 100% canon. They're saying it's actually canon this time. They made...
Cool.
They mentioned it.
It's absolutely wild for a Zelda game. Guys, this is part of the series, we swear to God.
Well, no, because like a lot of people got annoyed because they kind of implied that the last one, Age of Calamity, was canon, and then
Yeah,
very
it was
much
probably just
not.
some multiverse crap, right? That's what we're all into
I'm-
these days, apparently.
I don't
This
want
one
to be
is
like
proper
too
canon.
judgmental. I don't believe anyone actually cares about the Zelda canon at this point.
Oh,
Like, it is
my
so
dude, that
fucking
is
crazy.
So not true. People are so
no.
into it.
Sorry,
But, like,
I understand that
the second
people
this game
are
got
into
announced,
it.
people are like mad that like, oh, Age of Imprisonment, oh, another non-canon game that's set in the Breath of the Wild universe. Like, people were mad that this thing even existed because it was going to be another non-canon game, and now it is
I think
canon anyway. So fuck them.
I think it's more the case that like the 7 people that are into it are just extremely loud, like louder than usual. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, to me, this is the same. This is a wild statement. I'm ready to get cancelled. This is the same to me as like people giving shit about the DK Bonanza like fucking lore and like continuity. Like, who gives a shit? Like, nobody ever gave a shit about it. If this was 10 years ago, nobody gave a flying fuck. Like, it's really odd to me.
I think it's just the marvelification of things. Like, everything has to be connected at this point, right? It's like, why does it exist
Well-
if it doesn't all coexist within one universe?
So here's the thing, right? Is that like there has never been an official timeline for the Pokemon series. Nobody gives a shit, right? Nobody like it's not something that's discussed.
Give it a few more years.
I mean, yeah, it's probably gonna happen. Especially when
I mean,
we're
that's
getting like
because-
sequel and prequel games now. Like, yeah.
Well, that's because like there aren't characters that kind of carry over and go into each other's games,
there are.
right? Apart from like Professor Oak every
100%.
now and again, and then
Oh,
like you
yeah.
know,
There's like
Red.
Looker and Annabelle and all sorts of other characters.
I have no idea who those characters are.
Exactly,
Thinking the
right?
exact same thing.
Who the fuck are they?
No, there are characters that are like that have a running appearance throughout the series. So there is.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. But yeah, nobody cares because it's dumb. Anyway, they still didn't give a release date for Age of Imprisonment. They just keep saying that it's summer for us or winter for the US, which could be at the end of this year, could be the start of next year.
I mean, when are we going to get a release date for Metroid? Like, geez.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, is that we're creeping up on the end of the year and it's supposed to be coming out this year.
Wasn't it already out now? I remember seeing a billboard saying the game was already out now.
Anyway, there was a whole bunch more in the partner direct. There was a brand new Katamari game that got announced, Octopath Traveler 0, which is just a reworked version of the mobile game that was a prequel to Octopath Traveler.
According to Square Enix, it's not a reworked version of it. It's actually a continuation of it.
Yeah, but
that's probably like it's 60% of the mobile game, and then just a whole bunch of extra shit tacked on the end.
It's just bullshit. They're just bullshitting.
I know.
Anyway, a whole bunch of Switch 2 ports, including Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which is also coming to Switch.
Switch and Switch
looks
2.
completely different on Switch because they just like changed the backgrounds to be like, here's a couple polygons. It's great. Persona 3 Reload, Apex Legends Switch 2 Edition, which is out now. Star Wars Outlaws, we got another look at, which looks not great, but not awful, like playable, I guess. Yakuza Kiwami 2 and Kiwami 1 is getting a Switch upgrade as well. And Romancing Saga 2 got a Switch 2 edition, and that is out now as well.
Can I also just touch on that they did it again with Final Fantasy Tactics and just fucked up the art just royally? It looks... Yeah. Oh my god.
Looks bad.
What is... Like, I don't get it. Why is Square Enix so on the bandwagon of like making old pixel art look like fucking shit?
This is the thing, right? It's like they keep just fucking it up. Yeah, Tactics Ogre. And like they hate it so much, and then they're like, oh, but also HD 2D pixels. And it's like,
100%.
Why
it makes
are you
zero
doing
sense
this?
to me. I don't get it. You have this beautiful classic pixel art, and they're just like, well, time to put Vaseline all over it, guys.
But you can toggle it from memory from the PlayStation.
No. Yeah, in this one, you can.
On this one you can. Okay,
in Tactics you can toggle it. Thank God.
I like that Mega Man one from a few years ago where it was like perma on.
Yeah, Tactics Ogre is also permanently on. You can't turn it off.
Yeah. Anyway, one of the more interesting ones was.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay.
No.
So you're probably talking about the same thing. So let's go on.
Kronos, the New Dawn.
Nope, we're not talking about the same thing.
Oh, goodness me. All right. I think that's one of the more interesting ones. Kronos the New Dawn is coming day and date with the PS5 and Xbox Series XS versions of the game. And we saw footage from the Switch version, and it looks really quite nice. Which is surprising. I think it's an Unreal Engine 5 game, I think.
Yep.
So that is good to see. And yeah, it is from Bloober Team, which made the Silent Hill 2 remake and a bunch of other games. As well as this one in particular is made by the team who made the Medium, plus like a whole bunch more people because they scaled up massively. I spoke to the developers of this game, the two directors on this game, and asked them because like the Medium got like mixed reviews. I think it's safe to say is the response was very mixed. And I asked them about that, and they were like, yeah, like we hoped that people would like it, but we knew that it was going to be a mixed response, which is a really funny thing to say. But
I didn't play a bit of it, but it felt like a classic PS2 horror game, which is definitely like a genre in of itself. And I thought maybe some people would enjoy that, but I guess not.
Yeah, this is like a Dead Spacey kind of. It was described to me as like more of like a Resident than a Silent Hill. So it's a more action-focused survival horror-y kind of game where you like go back between the past and rescue souls, and then go to the future and like fight alien shit. It looks quite fun. People who have played it have said that it is an interesting game at the very least, and quite enjoyable. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how that goes on Switch 2. Michael, what was the thing that you were going to talk about? That is
I thought we were going to touch on the definite highlight of this direct, which is chilling by the fire.
Well, yeah, I wanted to end on that. Yeah, the highlight of the direct, by far, chilling by the fire, which is a game in which you make a fire and then chill by it. So I think I'm the only one who's actually played this game. Because
and probably will continue to be the only person that's played this game.
I mean, you'll chill by the fire because the fire's completely fake and doesn't give off any heat, and you'll be cold because of it. So
it's like
accurate
It's
name.
like $30 or something, right?
$30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I paid
$30 Australian dollars.
for this. Yeah, $30 Australian dollars. I paid $30 for this game. And yeah,
This is the same
like,
price that we just dunked on for Plants vs Zombies.
Yeah. So yeah, I did buy this game and I did play it with a couple of my coworkers and friends. And it's exactly what it looks like. So you make a fire and then you try to make the fire bigger, and then that's it. And like it has like these prompts. It's a really sad experience if you're playing alone because it has like these prompts that are like, what was your first pet, or like, what have you been thinking about
not
lately
trying to
that like come up on the screen that's like supposed to be
your password.
No, but no, it's like it's supposed to be like prompting discussion between you and your pals chilling by the fire. So yeah, it's a very sad experience if you're playing it alone because like, who are those prompts for? Just for me, I guess. But there's like, there's survival modes that like make it a little bit harder, and then like if your fire goes out, you die. Which whatever. Or like
just
there
like
was
in real
one,
life.
Yeah. I said this as like there is one map in the game, because like the mechanics don't really change at all. But there is one map in the game that I think has the idea of a good game in it, where there's like 4 different fires, and it's like you could try competing to do this, or just chill and make fires together. But I think competitive fire building is like a really interesting idea, especially because you can like steal wood and stuff that is on fire from other people's fires, and then like mess them up. So I think it
against the idea of chilling by the fire if you have to nick people's.
I know,
wood
but like
to
what
do
I'm
stuff.
saying is that would be a far more interesting game. Like if it was a competitive fire building game where like you build a fire and then like have to protect from other people stealing stuff from your fire. I think it would be an interesting game, and chilling by the fire is not. But I'm glad it took up a spot in the direct. Why not?
I'd say it was the EA Sports section of the program, but there were 2 EA Sports games in there. So I just want to call out
in the EA Sports stuff they had to explain the sports to us again. And I'm like, guys, come on.
I mean, Madden hasn't been seen on a Nintendo platform here since 2011 on the Wii. We never got the Wii U version of it. So
anyone who would ever buy Madden is already very intimately familiar with what American football is.
Oh, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying for Nintendo fans. I just want to call out too, the Apex Legends release on Switch is the weirdest one ever, because once you boot up the Switch version on Switch 2, a menu appears and says, hey, go to the eShop and download the Switch 2 version, and you can never play the Switch version again on your Switch 2.
Oh, so here's another interesting thing about that. If you participate in like Twitch drops or like campaigns or whatever, right? There's currently no option to get the Switch 2 codes for it. So they give you Switch 1 codes, but then when you try to boot up the Switch 1, because you have to redeem it in-game, if you try to boot up the Switch 1 version of the game, you can't redeem the code. So they're just giving out codes for Nintendo platform, which can only be redeemed in the Switch 1 version of the game. So if you want the content that comes in those, you have to continue having your Switch 1 and then redeem it in Switch 1, and then you'll have it on Switch 2. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
That's really stupid.
But from what I hear, the game is actually like really good on Switch 2.
Yeah,
it looks very, very nice. 1080p 60 and like a weird that's well docked, and like a weird like 1008p while handheld, which like
sick.
Did they misplace the 8?
Yeah,
that's what everyone seems to think.
Yeah,
what I like is Iron Galaxy were the folks who led the charge on this. So Respawn obviously didn't do the Switch version of the game. They were around for it, but they didn't do the work. But Iron Galaxy also did. They did Tony Hawk 3+4 recently. And then on Switch, they brought Diablo 3 over, Skyrim, and Metroid Prime Remastered. That was them as well. So, nice little studio.
Yeah. Is there anything else from the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase that people want to talk about?
Well, I was just jamming out to oh god damn it, gotta find the subtitle for it. Oh my god, this mouse. Once Upon a Katamari. Holy crap. That game looks so much fun. I haven't played a Katamari game in a long time, so I'm totally up for that. And also,
This is a brand new one.
Yeah. And Shinobi Art of Vengeance also looks super sweet.
There is a demo for Shinobi up on the eShop now too for Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, but
Boy,
there's
I need to go
no
get that.
Switch 2 version of that game, is there?
No,
just a
which is
Switch
really
1
weird because when they put out a post a week or so ago and they put it out, on Switch 2 it should run better. It's like, hang on, what do you mean should run better? Like they didn't like say it will. They were like it should, and it's like that seems a little
they
weird.
probably don't have dev kits to say for sure that it will. So
I mean,
This whole
Blizzard
dev
Cube
kit
for sure,
situation
but
for Switch 2
I
is
imagine
fucking
Sega
wild.
would have a dev kit that they could do a test on. But anyway,
yeah, I mean, talking about dev kits, like the thing is, right, there aren't enough dev kits in developers' hands. The wilder thing is that this is a vastly improved situation compared to the Switch 1. Like this is the thing, is like I've been talking to developers and it is like there are significant like scales and scales, like multitudes more Switch 2 dev kits out there than Switch 1, which at the same time as Switch 1's life, which is wild to me. Is that like there were like 10 Switch 1 dev kits out at this point, and there's like hundreds of Switch 2 dev kits.
PlayStation 5
Yeah.
did the same thing from memory as well. They didn't have
Hundreds
a
of
lot
Switch 2 dev
out.
kits, but only 5 games. So good times.
I mean, yeah, it takes time, but I mean, I can tell you that there is like a whole bunch of stuff that is like in development that just hasn't been announced yet.
Oh, I'm sure there
And
is.
I wish it would be. There is stuff that is finished that is probably not going to come out for another 6+ months. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, like Metroid.
I mean, probably.
Also, Hella looks really cute. This is a cute little game.
Yeah.
I want to be a little adventure mouse.
The fact that you can do 4-player co-op in that is also kind of insane.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
4
frame
little
rate
mice
doesn't
running
look
around.
great, but
It's not out to 2026. So I give them maybe this is just from a dev build and it's not polished
Yeah.
yet. So
hopefully they
little
pack a
bit
few
of
more
wiggle room.
FPSs in there.
Yeah.
It looks super cute.
Yeah. So moving on, the Switch 2, we got the first financials from it. 5.82 million Switch consoles were sold in the first month on sale, which is an absurd amount. It is by far the best, like, fastest selling console of all time. Like, it is not a close competition in the slightest. And then Mario Kart World, also 5.63 million. So it is like a 90 something % attach rate, which is not surprising at all. It says here Switch only sold another 980,000 consoles in the last quarter, which is about what expected, the original Switch. But yeah, really, really, really good numbers for the Switch 2. Not surprising in the slightest. They just need to keep that momentum going with more games. We'll briefly talk about the indie world, because that is very, very recent. The big ones were UFO 50, just got a surprise release. That is a very, very good game. It's a collection of like 50 sort of like full-scale NES-ish games, which, yeah, it was one of the best games of last year and is now out on Switch.
Who's the developer for that one? Moose something or other, isn't it?
I can't remember, but it's like it's a collective of like a whole bunch of different like game developers.
Yeah.
It was
I think
spearheaded by the Spelunky guy.
I was gonna say
Derek Yu.
Spelunky was the game I was thinking of.
Yeah, it's quite lovely. The other thing is that Mina the Hollower is getting a Switch 2 version. That's the I want to say Zelda-ish. It's not exactly Zelda-ish, but it is kind of.
It's the Link's Awakening version of Zelda. It's like it's their version of Link's Awakening, much like Shovel Knight was their version of Mega Man. So
yeah, so this is by Yacht Club Games, who the people who made Shovel Knight. And yeah, it's basically, I don't know, it's kind of Castlevania-ish in its actual like progression. So I hesitate to call it a Zelda game, but it is, yeah, quite interesting, and it has 120 FPS mode on Switch 2.
Which is such a weird, super weird selling point for an NES-like game. Like, you want to play some NES games at 120 FPS? No?
I mean, I'm
does
sure
it matter?
Michael wants to play NES games at 120 FPS.
It's one of those weird ones where I'm just like 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 cool, like it's neat. Like obviously, like it's not bad, but like also, I just
Like,
man,
given
this
the
is gonna be
aesthetic and how much
hot
power
take.
it doesn't take to run, like, yeah, I would kind of expect it to run at that. What are you talking about?
But sure, but also at the same time, it's sort of one of those things where, like, if you're playing in portable mode, like, I feel like I would probably take the battery life over just randomly running this game in 120.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good point.
it's a bit of a weird one. I don't know.
Yeah, but in docked mode you can do 120 as well. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, it's got a demo out now. It's doing this stupid thing that Yacht Club Games likes to do, where like that demo is only available for a limited amount of time. So if you are interested in potentially getting the game, you should download the demo now, even if you don't play it, because they will just take it off.
Only
the
up for 2
eShop.
weeks, and then they'll just take it away. Once you have it, you can keep re-downloading it if you delete
Yeah.
it. But once it's gone, you won't be able to claim it for yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the second 120 FPS game on Switch too, apart from the the Welcome Tour, which I don't think really counts.
I mean, that was one segment of the game. So
yeah.
What was the other game that's 120?
It's
I think-
East Nordics. East
Oh,
X
yeah.
Nordics. It has 120 FPS mode on Switch too. It's only out in Japan right now, so this will be the first English game that will have 120 FPS. But other games will assuredly follow. Anyway, there was a whole bunch of other stuff in the Underworld showcase. A lot of it was quite nice. There was 2 other games that came out immediately, which was Is the Seat Taken and Tiny Bookshop. One of my coworkers played through Is the Seat Taken, and he says it's quite good. It's just a regular old kind of puzzly game. Yeah, Content Warning is coming to Switch and Switch 2 next year. I feel like next year is like way too late for Content Warning to still be relevant. Like if they had announced like Peak, I would expect that to be, still popular, in 2026. Content Warning feels like it is come and gone, but we'll see. And then, new Devolver digital game, Ball Pit. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I think it was a really nice indie world.
I want to argue for more time for Ball Pit, because that game, I had the demo for that for months, and I've put like 15 hours into it because it's just so much fun.
Yeah,
it's basically Breakout, the game with the paddle and the ball and it's that, but it's a roguelite and there's a bit of a city builder to it. It's just fantastic. So, if you're
I do want to point out,
keen, check that one out when it comes out in October.
I do want to point out Glaciered as well, which was a very surprising game that actually was the game that the Direct ended on in Japan, or the indie world rather. And it's just a really incredible looking adventure game where you play as like this weird like underwater dinosaur guy, and it looks gorgeous. The gameplay looks really interesting.
It looks very Panzer Dragoon.
It does. With like a little bit of like that game company Flower Flow kind of shit to it as well. Yeah, I think it's a really fascinating looking game. And I'm really interested to see more of that. So yeah. Let's see, I'm just looking through the list.
Was this the one that Pro Jank Footy was announced in?
No, so that was a separate thing. We'll talk about that now. So Project Footy was formally announced for PC, but it now has a new publisher in Umbrella Entertainment, or just Umbrella. Now, long-time viewers of the show will know Umbrella Entertainment from the fact that they did the 30th anniversary Mario movie release. We had a whole episode about it with one of the people who was kind of involved in helping make that happen. Umbrella, wonderful Australian company. They do some incredible stuff for the films that they distribute, and that will almost certainly be the same with the games that they're publishing. It is really exciting to see a new Australian publisher, because like how often does that happen? The Australian games industry is feeling like it's always kind of shitting itself. So it's nice to see. Yeah, it's nice to see that this is happening. And Michael and I are both very big fans of Umbrella.
Yeah, they're a great company. Like I don't glaze companies like that often, but Umbrella is genuinely passionate about the stuff that they do, and it's quite nice.
But the game though, like I'm just watching the trailer for it, and I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of interesting to see an AFL game that looks like fun. Because they generally don't look like fun at all. So this one, I'm actually this actually looks cool.
It looks pretty cool. Like, I don't know. They've got a definite vibe going down, and it's quite nice.
Yeah,
and,
like
it has the DVD video logo. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's so obnoxious. I kind of love it. Like, it looks and sounds and almost feels like an NBA Jam, but today.
Yeah.
Which I'm totally down for.
Yeah. But yeah, so super excited about this, that it's happening. As I think we've mentioned it on the show in the past, but like Umbrella is like a great company not because of just the work they do, but like how engaged they are with their community and stuff. And I imagine that will continue through to their publishing as well. Like Michael is part of the reason that like one of the Umbrella releases happened, kind of maybe. In that, like,
I mean, I asked for it. I don't know if I tied directly to me, but I definitely did ask for it.
Happened. So yeah, it's really, really nice to see. Alrighty, we're almost through all the news.
So Project Footy is coming to Switch 2. Switch.
Just Switch
and consoles.
Switch
2. Switch, PC next year, and will be at PAX Australia and South by Southwest this year.
Also, we'll also note, just for the physical collectors out there, we did ask in my movie Discord to Umbrella if they were thinking about a physical release for this game. And they definitely did say it's digital first, but they are definitely talking about it. So,
nice. It would be really interesting if we had like an Australian like LRP, so we don't have to spend like $700 on shipping for a physical game.
I mean, exact same thing.
I don't want an Australian LRG. If you catch my drift.
No, I am 100% with you on that. But we probably can't focus on that too much more without potentially getting sued. Anyway, there is a new range of products, apps, and shorts for kids coming from Nintendo called My Mario. So this is a line of products that is aimed at young children. It comes with like child-friendly books, clothes, dinnerware, toys. There's a wooden block set, which costs $200. But it comes with little wooden blocks of all the Mario characters. Well, 4 Mario characters.
The conversation in the Vookcast chat when Luke dropped it in there, I'm like, oh, that's super cute, and it's like it's $150 or $200. I'm like, well, I'll take everything I said back.
Yeah. There's a new app that is coming for Switch, iOS, and Android, which recreates the Mario face experience from Mario 64, where he like react to you just like messing up his face. They're doing a whole bunch of like shorts that are like child friendly as well. And yeah, just it's coming out on August 26th, so later this month in Japan. And then other things will release outside of Japan in 2026. Likely the blocks and a couple other things as well, but not all of it because there's a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah. I imagine anything that's Nintendo Store exclusive in Japan will probably end up on our store because Nintendo Australia is pretty good for that stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't think it'd build a lot of it. Anything that doesn't have I don't think the books will come over anytime soon because those things are in Japanese. But the plates, the kid-friendly plates and cups and the blocks will probably come over at some point. Fun fact: the character figures in the block set are also amiibo.
If they survive like the onslaught of a child playing them for a year.
I mean, it's just a wooden block.
I feel like that's going to destroy amiibo collectors like so hard. Like, oh shit, how do we get our hands on this?
Yeah, no joke, right? All the 30-somethings you'll go out and buy this. But like, these are going to get trashed so hard. I mean, kids' toys are notorious for getting chewed on, thrown around, spat on, all that kind of stuff.
I'm intrigued to see
$150 on a set of blocks is kind of insane.
Like where the NFC stuff is inside the block. Like I'm intrigued to see like how they did that. But all the stuff's super cute. I think it's really, really nice. It's just
Actually,
that, like, it also comes with that Nintendo price tag, which is a bit, you know.
I would be curious, actually, if a baby swallowed an NFC chip, like, could my Switch still pick it up?
Yep,
Like-
your baby just smooth it over your controller.
We all knew exactly where you were
Yeah,
going.
as soon as you started talking, I was like, there we go.
I mean, your child.
So
ends
the
up
answer
playing a
is,
collector's
it depends
edition,
on
so-
where it is in the digestion system, but more than likely, yes.
Yeah, baby's inside story.
Oh god.
Anyway, yeah. So Vook was kind of talking about this. He does have children and young children, and yeah, there's basically nothing, right? Like if you want, you know, Nintendo themed stuff for young children, there's basically nothing.
It's basically
So-
5 and up for everything Nintendo related these days.
Yeah.
And even the 5 and up stuff, I'd hesitate that it's not for a 5-year-old. Some of it can be quite fiddly at times. So
Which is
yeah.
no, come on. I won't interrupt.
I was just saying, like, it's really nice to see that Nintendo is moving into a direction where they can be more family friendly in areas outside of video games, because they have done the work. They have absolutely put in the work to make like family friendly video games, and now that they're, you know, trying to expand outside of that and make their IPs worth more than just the video games that they're in, it's really nice to see that they are thinking of younger children as well, and not just, you know, kids that can play with Lego.
My friend just had a baby, like 6 weeks old, and I sent this to them, and they are very excited for this stuff to come out because it's just like perfect timing.
yeah.
It's interesting. Again, I'm just putting on my cynical cap. Like I just feel like in the 40 years that Nintendo's been doing video games, I've never seen or heard anyone really complain or had a problem looking for merchandise for children for Nintendo stuff. Like since video games have been a thing, like Mario games have always been really popular with young kids, granted not necessarily babies or toddlers and stuff, but like, you know, they'll still wear a Mario shirt or have like a Mario lunchbox or backpack or something. I think it's interesting that Nintendo is doing this, and me being skeptical, I think it's purely because Nintendo just doesn't want to keep licensing it out to other companies to make the Nintendo things. So just like with everything they're doing, they're like, well, screw it, we'll just make it ourselves and bring all the profits directly back to us. So I think about like the clothing, the toys, the books, all that kind of stuff. Like those have always kind of existed. And even video games, like 3-year-olds are playing Nintendo games. So I think it's just I'm not. I don't.
On the one
I
hand,
get that, like some people might be excited by this, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh, it's already always existed.
I think for me,
clothing for sure has, right? Like clothing for children and babies has 100% always existed. But like, I don't think that in particular is necessarily a profit motive thing, in part just because like clothing has like super tiny margins for profit anyway. But like also I think a lot of it is just going to be down to Nintendo wanting to have some kind of quality control that it has control over, rather than just like licensing it out to Kmart, who then licenses it out to fucking some Bangladeshi factory that does not give a shit about anything. Like Nintendo can, you know, have some kind of control over how its things gets made, and, you know, have a more hands-on process, which will obviously increase the price because Nintendo. But yeah, like it's not as if it hasn't always existed. It's just like this is more of a focus on it, and Nintendo getting more involved in that, I think, will be good ultimately. But yeah.
I think the pricing of stuff is definitely a big concern. Like, I'm sorry, but like $200 for a box set for a baby / toddler is bonkers.
Oh,
Like,
I think
99.9% of people are never going to buy that.
baby stuff is wildly overpriced. Like my partner is just getting a baby harness for a family member who's about to have a baby, and just the harness itself is like $350, $400 or something like that, and it's not even necessarily one that she picked out. Like someone else picked it out for her because of a particular design that it has, just to kind of like match the other girlies who also have one. So like baby stuff is just already extremely overpriced, and again, just like with a lot of Nintendo stuff, right, this just keeps adding to it. And granted, like no one has to go out and buy it. And you know,
No,
if I had
not
a
at
baby,
all.
I wouldn't go out and buy it.
But I think it's just one of those weird comparison things, right? When you can just go down to Kmart and buy like a generic animal block set for like probably $10, and it comes with like 50 times the amount of blocks that this Nintendo one does. It's just
also,
it's a super hard sell for people.
But also, yeah, exactly. It's a hard. I feel like it would be a hard sell. And like baby stuff in general doesn't last, and I don't mean like the quality of it means it deteriorates, or that some of it can. I mean like babies move on. They grow out of the clothes. They move on to other toys. Kids these days are picking up iPads and phones way sooner than we expected. So they're not going to be fiddling around with blocks and books all that much, depending on how often a parent sticks a screen in front of their kid's face.
Yeah. Although, like, I would say, like, the pricing of, like, other products in the line, so, like, the blocks are very, very expensive. But, like, one of the t-shirts is, like, roughly $20 Australian, which, like, isn't horrible.
But if you add that up over, like, 10 to 15 t-shirts, you have to buy every 6 months, though, because the kids...
Yeah, I think it's one of those weird things where, like, I have a lot of friends and family that have had children, right? And like the amount of times that they would spend $20 on a shirt for like a baby or like a someone that's 5 and under is very slim. That's like it's like a special occasion shirt. Like I have a friend that has like a toddler right now, and like they're going to Kmart every other week. He's like, I need a new outfit because they've trashed the previous one, and they're spending like $10 on an entire outfit from Kmart. Right? That's what the vast majority of people are doing. Like this, sure. I feel like this definitely isn't a mass market thing. But I don't feel like people would. I don't think people are buying. Yeah, I don't know. I think the vast majority of people aren't buying like this type of stuff for a special occasion. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. It's odd.
I see it like a lot of things that people do with pets, where they're buying it for themselves, but it's for the pets, right? Doing air quotes, like. They buy like the fancy rhinestone collar for the dog, but it's really for the adult, right? Like that's what it is. Like they want to like kit their little familiar out with like, or their mount out with like some new skins kind of stuff. I mean, that's basically what it is.
The block set, 99% of those are going to be sold to adults. Like I very, very highly doubt that these are going to go to children.
To be fair, technically, they're all going to be sold to adults. Only 1% of them will end up in the hands of kids.
Yes, Luke. You know what we mean, though.
I know. I will say too. The other thing is the prices. They're 20,000 yen for the big block set in Japan. You've got to add tax to that still, and then once they say if they bring that to Australia or America, they'll get converted and then charged for all the costs of shipping. So what is now 200 Aussie bucks as a straight conversion could be closer to $250-$300 by the time, if it actually comes to Australia, by the time it's here. It's like that becomes then a real hard sell. It's like $250 for a block set, even as a collector, like an Amiibo collector. That seems like an awfully big buy for Amiibo, even if you're not for the kids. Like, but even especially if you're buying this for kids, $250. Like, I'd rather buy 5 cheap sets. I was looking at Toy World. There's an FAO Schwartz toy block set, 75 pieces, $50. I could buy 5 of those or 4 of those for the price of this one set, and they get infinitely more blocks to play with.
I mean, 250 is like a third of the way to a Switch 2. So
yeah, just buy your baby a Switch 2 with it. No, I am looking at like some of the other prices now. Like, there's a silicon bib that's like $9. Not that bad. They're like full kitchenware, dinnerware set, whatever. Is like about $40. There's like a little lunchbox that's $7. Backpack is about $50.
Yeah, I think there's stuff that's like reusable and lasts a while, like the stuff like the food containers and whatnot. That's different. But I think like the fast fashiony type stuff, or even like the plushes. Man, I'm not sure how much the Mario plush is, which is cute AF, by the way. But cool. Yeah, even the little like
plush is $30, which is cheaper than I expected.
Yeah. I feel this is the whole weird part though. I feel like I've been able to get like a Mario plush from like a million outlets for like way less than $30 in the past.
Oh yeah, so like you can get them if you're lucky. You can get them for $2 in a skill tester. Granted, it might be full of microplastics and toxins, but
well, yeah. That's the thing is,
yeah,
baby certified shit is like always so expensive.
Yeah,
but like you're
even parents aren't buying baby certified shit. Let's be real. Like it's just.
Well, that's it. Like, if it's got an Amiibo chip in it, like, I don't know. Goes back to my question before.
Anyway,
we've spent a ridiculous amount of time on this one topic that doesn't impact
Yeah.
any of our
For-
listeners in any capacity.
Or even just us four non-dads talking about baby toys.
yeah. Alrighty. We'll briefly talk about the games that we're playing because it has been a long time. Also, Mario Paint got added to Nintendo Classics. Let's just quickly talk about that.
I can't believe that was just a throw aside that you just made.
I
My
mean,
God.
it's whatever, right? Like it's you know,
It's whatever.
Mario Paint is there, and also mouse support is also there for a couple other games. Who cares?
Yeah. But the fact that mouse is required for Mario Paint is the interesting part of that, which obviously makes sense because the whole point of Mario Paint is it came with the mouse. But just they didn't like try and shoehorn in some random, oh no, if you use the right stick on your Pro Controller, that is a mouse, or you don't get to, which I think is a
It's
good
also
thing.
unplayable in handheld mode. That's fun. You can't play it in handheld mode because you can't use the mouse.
I thought they said you could plug out a USB-C
Oh,
mouse
you can.
into the suit.
You can, but that turns into tabletop mode, which is separate from handheld mode.
Unless you just want to hold it with one hand and use the mouse on the thing.
Maybe that would be very uncomfortable.
Weird. Yeah.
Just for people who care as well, the live action One Piece series from Netflix just got confirmed to get a season 3. I've had like 6 people message me about it in like the past 2 minutes, so that's nice. Also, extremely dates and time codes when we were recording this. Anyway, the games that we're playing. I played No Sleep for Konami Date. My review for that will be up on Vookcast very shortly. Which is a new AI The Somnium Files game. Quite good. Very similar to the first game, less similar to the second game. There's a Demon Slayer game that I played. Also, review coming soon on Vookcast, which is fine. Played Donkey Kong Bonanza. What a game, honestly. Absolute banger. Very, very pleased with it. But the big one is that I went all the way to China to play Where Winds Meet, which is an upcoming action RPG free-to-play kind of thing that was just an incredible looking and incredible playing game. Very, very excited for Where Winds Meet when it comes out later this year. And wonderful opportunity to go to China and play it in the NetEase offices. Which, by the way, they have 2 gigantic campuses at NetEase, and both of them are bigger than the universities that I went to. They're gigantic. They have just their own. They had to establish their own coffee brand, cafe brand, so that they could open cafes on their campuses. It's insane. Also, NetEase has automated robotic massage machines, which seems like the kind of thing that starts killing people in Terminator movies. So that's when the AI goes bad, is the robots start breaking people's spines. Really, really fantastic looking game. And playing game. I played 7 hours of it, and I want to play more of it.
That reminds me, did you guys hear about those Dutch robot brothels that exist? Or that one? It's pretty insane to hear about. That's where the AI revolution, the robot uprising will be happening.
If you ask me if I would ever hear that sentence in my life,
I think it's Dutch.
Goodness me.
I'll have to confirm. But yeah, it's a thing.
All right. Angelo, what games have you been playing?
Not that,
related
but,
to Dutch robot brothel.
Been playing Darksiders War Mastered Edition still. Really great game to play on Steam Deck if you can get past the hurdle of getting it set up. I've dabbled a little bit into Donkey Kong Bonanza. My cat's just moving my microphone. Yeah, I haven't gotten too far into it. I keep hearing great things about it though, and I'm really looking forward to actually getting into that. But I want to get some other stuff out of the way first, like Dragon Quest III HD 2D. See, I started that game about a month and a half ago, and I was enjoying it, but the limitations of the Switch original version was really starting to come through. Just it was running a bit sluggishly. The resolution wasn't great, but then just all of a sudden, because I hadn't been paying attention to all of these directs and things like that, I just woke up one day and there was an 8 GB patch, and I was like, what the hell is this? Yeah. So I downloaded it, and then magically, it was running at 60 FPS, which is incredible. I don't know why it took 8 gigs to do that, but here we are.
Oh, because it's the full it's the full like PS5 version of the game. They just like
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
In saying that, now it
Rather-
makes sense to me. It took me like a week
Yeah.
to realize that, but yeah,
yeah.
it's because it's the Switch 2 version of the game.
But it was just it was just a free update, and that kind of makes like the 1 and 2 like being like a full repurchase kind of annoying. Right? There's no upgrade path for 1 and 2.
Yeah, we didn't get into that, unfortunately, but yeah, a bit annoying to hear about that.
But yeah, continue.
But it's been great to play. Really enjoying that, and funnily enough, I picked up whichever Borderlands collection has 1 pre-sequel and 2 in it, in a sale for like $17 or something on the eShop the other week, and my partner and I both got it, and we've just been playing it local co-op. I wanted to get into, ever since Borderlands originally came out, I've been wanting to play through the game, but always thought that it'd be a lot more fun to play with other people. When I was originally playing, I played it alone, and it was okay, but I always thought that playing with other people was kind of the point of that game. So yeah, we're finally going through the game, and it's kind of like our new bedtime game. We knock out about half an hour, 45 minutes, do a couple of missions in it, and it's been pretty good so far. Not sure if I'll get into 3 and 4. We'll see how we go with these games, but yeah, it's been enjoyable to do. It'd be nice if the frame rate got fixed on that one. It's currently capped at 30, and the game runs amazingly. Apart from that, like everything about it is great. It just feels a little bit sluggish when it's running at 30. So I doubt it will run at 60.
Well, 3's broken his ass on Switch too at the moment, so.
Yeah, okay. Sweet. We'll get that one on PC maybe.
When I say broken, I mean like you know when like you punch a screen and you get like weird color effects and like a whole section of the panel will break. That's what you get, but it constantly refreshes. So every time you move, you get different versions. I've got a picture I'll share later.
Funnily enough, so I was going to get Kingdoms of Amalur the other day because that was on sale on Switch and apparently it runs fine on Switch, but Switch 2 on the other hand has a really weird bug where the skybox is busted. And if you look on Reddit, there are clips where like as you move the camera around and everything, the environment follows the camera, no problem, looks like normal, but the sky doesn't. The sky just has one stuck texture that no matter what direction or perspective you're looking from, that sky texture remains exactly the same. Or it's busted to the point where anything that's in the foreground, like trees and things like that, will then cast a weird like a time shift, time blur effect in the sky. It's super disorienting, and some people complaining about feeling nauseous when they play that on Switch 2.
There's a few interesting things like that. Also like cassette beasts as well, where like the reason that like they're broken on Switch 2 is because they had to do like super specific like to the specific hardware hacks to get something like that performed reasonably well on Switch. And then like because they did it specifically for the Switch hardware, the fact that it's like Switch 2 now and is different GPU hardware means that those hacks that they did don't apply anymore, which is a really interesting situation.
Yeah, it is interesting. Hopefully, like I imagine the devs of Cassette Beast might put out a patch because that game's a lot more recent. But like Kingdoms of Amalur, I feel like it's probably not going to get fixed.
The devs have said that they want to do it, but like they don't have a dev kit, so
yeah, of
they
course.
can't.
Right. Anyway, that's me.
Yeah, Michael, lay it on us. This is the most variety I've seen in your games we're playing list in a long time.
I know, it's wild. Who would have thought when games perform well, I'll play them. So yeah, I've been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is like super, super fun. Definitely got some random performance issues in there, but like nothing like wildly bad. Would like to see that stuff like addressed though. I feel like there's some performance stuff where I'm like, I actually think this is a proper bug, like something isn't working correctly.
Yeah.
But
there's some
yeah,
stuff
I guess
in
we'll see.
Bonanza as well that like feels like there's like certain punches that you do where like the actual like frame rate slows, and it's like this should not be happening. Like, is this an artistic choice or like?
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I think some of those issues are like actual like problems. But yeah, we'll see. We've also been playing Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. Super fun. It's been on my list for a while, and then the update Shadow dropped, and the performance difference is just incredible. Like it transforms how the game plays like completely. It is very much a classic like fucking RPG from the day. Like I remember moving on to like a separate area, and I'm like, I can't do this. This is just everything is brutal, and I have to like level like 50 more times before I even move on. But like the way the game is paced is like completely fucking stupid.
Also just like party members just like not really being kind of a thing where it's just like, hey, you just like get some guys from a pub and like that's
Yeah,
your
it's-
party.
And you don't
Yeah.
even like from the get-go, you don't even really control them. You have to go into the fight settings to then be able to
Yeah.
give them commands.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't do that by default, which I didn't realize until like 8 hours into the game.
100%. And they do, the AI control is a bit jacked, but yeah, it plays like well enough. It was really like it has a ton of cool like side quest stuff where I became a king because why not?
Yeah.
And you
So
can't
bizarre, right?
you can't do anything. You have to just stay in town, and then you have to sort of give away like your crown to like not become king anymore. But you can just go back and do it again. You can just become king again for a day.
But then the joke
so
is like,
stupid.
the joke is that like the king's assistant is like, yeah, that's normal. Like I've been king 5 times.
100%. Like it's
Such a
the
good
whole like
gag.
in-joke thing is that he just gives away the crown all the time just because he wants to go do stuff.
Square Enix clearly
And like
just
you
love
find
making kings.
you find him in the monster fighting pit. Like that's what he does when he's not king. He goes in there.
It's
And I'm
so
like,
good.
this is amazing.
It's a good joke.
But then just recently, I've just been playing the Battlefield 6 open beta, which
Yeah, what's that
guess
like? I want to know more about that game.
soft launched on Thursday.
So
Like,
early
you know,
access
if you-
on Thursday, Friday, and then it's officially Saturday, Sunday, Monday this weekend, and then Saturday, Sunday next weekend.
Yeah. But early access is one of those like early access, and you basically just have to like trip over and you find a key somewhere. The queues were bonkers to get into the game on Thursday. I got in early, quote unquote, and my position was like 101,000. And then my mate joined like 5 minutes later and was like 250,000 in queue. But that
So
cleared
I got-
reasonably fast.
Yeah,
I got given a code for that from EA, and like I like installed it and whatever, and like I had a couple other things to do at work, and then like I joined and I had 316,000 was my queue position, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right, well, guess I'll come back to that.
It's one of those things where like the first if it was 316, the first like 250,000 went by in like 3 minutes, and then like the last 60 or whatever is like it slows right down. But I think that only lasted like for the first couple of hours, and then like you could just get in whenever you wanted.
yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
a
that's
lot
good.
more servers.
I really enjoy it. Like, it definitely is a ton of like awesome destructibility stuff. The gameplay loop is fun. Like, you have like fast respawns. The one thing I will say about the beta, which I'm surprised about, none of the maps that they included have that big battlefield moment. Like in previous games where that you're fighting around like a huge skyscraper, and then you do enough damage and the whole thing collapses and it changes the battlefield, or you're in the side of a facility on a mountain and then you capture the point and you dive off the facility to the lower part of the facility, which is just those amazing sick things from Battlefield. None of those maps have that in this, and I'm like, this is an odd choice.
You're
Like,
talking about
maybe it's coming
Levolution.
in one of the like later betas is going to add one of those maps in, but it's enjoyable. Like, if you enjoy Battlefield, like, you'll enjoy this, I think.
To me, this feels like it's the sequel to Battlefield 4 that we should have gotten, and not the Battlefield 1, where they went back to World War 1, and then the weird Battlefield 5, which was the stories, or Battlefield V,
Yeah.
sorry.
But it feels like they're listening to
42,
feedback.
which
Like,
everyone hated.
it looks like they're genuinely going to be using this beta to actually like change the game and modify it and like streamline it to what people actually want, which is, like, that's all you can ask for these days.
Well, aren't they like aiming for like 1 billion players or something? Like some insane
They said they
number.
wanted 100 million players.
Yeah, good luck.
I can't remember who it was. One of the Activision Blizzard people yesterday was like, "Oh yeah, Battlefield's like revolutionary. It's gonna like totally outsell Call of Duty like this year." I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, it's not. Like, that's the most insane thing.
I honestly do think it will outsell Call of Duty, not because Battlefield is like
Because of Game
going
Pass.
to be incredible, but because like I have seen like negative hype for the new Call of Duty. Like, people don't really care that much. Like, the people that buy it every year will still buy it, but like I don't think it's going to expand beyond that.
Yeah, but I
For the first time in
think the
years.
people that buy it every year are like 2 billion. Like, that's the problem. like it's just there's like an auto purchase thing with Call of Duty. It's almost too big to fail, if not actually too big to fail at this point.
But like
it's
the thing is, a
insane.
lot of those people have just kind of like moved on to playing Warzone instead, right? It's like, why would they pay for something?
That's
when
Call
they
of
just play
Duty.
Warzone?
That's
I know,
fine.
but like that's not buying a new game, right? It's not like that adds to like
Well,
the.
it's the
They
same
make
with
more
Game
money
Pass,
off fucking Warzone than they do off buying Call of
sure
Duty.
do, yeah.
So it
But not
really
everyone
doesn't
has
matter.
Game Pass. They're not going to be buying Call of Duty. Like Game Pass subs might skyrocket for November for a month.
Well,
because they want to play Call of Duty, and then that's it.
I mean, it's only for
the
Xbox,
lead
which is like,
platform-
5 people. So
The lead
Doesn't really
platform for
matter.
Call of Duty is PlayStation. The more people play it on PlayStation than any of the other platforms, including PC for the most part. So, yeah, it is no Game Pass there. Although I'm sure Microsoft would get it if they wanted to get Game Pass on PlayStation. Luke, what have you been playing? Obviously, the beta as well.
Yes, I put a lot of time into not a lot of time. I've been putting time into the beta. I'm at a Call of Duty Battlefield. It's Battlefield all the way. I just never liked Call of Duty multiplayer. It was just too stupid for me. The single player stuff for Call of Duty was great. I loved the campaigns that they put together. And then I think it was Black Ops 3 or 4. One of them, they're like, "Oh, we're not doing a campaign. It's online only. It's just multiplayer only." It's like, fuck off. It's like the one reason that I cared about your game was the campaign. Not that 2042 in Battlefield had one, but I like Battlefield multiplayer, so I was okay with that. I also played Donkey Kong Bonanza. I liked it. I just got a little bored of punching everything towards the end. I was like, can I have something that's not just punching? It'd be like every single Mario level being that you have to jump. And obviously Mario games, jumping's a big thing, but like the power-ups really make things different. Like the flying power-up and all that. But this one was just like, no, punch. I like it. I just wanted something, a different flavor occasionally. So that was that. I've been playing Terra Nil because that got an update the other day where they added a whole new bunch of biomes and animals and a photo mode, so you get photographs of your biomes and the animals and all that in there. I got a code for Tiny Bookshop, which is one of the ones that came out from the indie world, and I'm playing that. That is a very, very slow-paced game. Every time I've jumped into it, I've gotten through like 2 stages and I start dozing off because no matter what I'm doing, I sit down and I start playing that and I'm like, no, don't go to
It's like
sleep.
being in an actual bookshop.
Pretty much. Don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying it, but it's one of those games where if you only have like 5 or 10 minutes, it's a perfect thing. Any more than that, you're going to start falling asleep. Outside of that, I haven't put it in there. I've got other things that are embargoed, but I played the Legacy of Kain games, Shadow Labyrinth, which was the Pac-Man Metroidvania, which was fine. I think it was a great little game. There are some issues with it, but it's a fine game. I did Patapon 1+2 replay, which is again fine. It's Patapon. You either like Patapon or you don't. This was never going to change your mind. I will say though, it's just absolutely hilarious to be playing it on Switch and see when you get the new drum and you see like the square or the triangle from the PlayStation buttons. It's like square and it goes down to X and you're like it goes down to Y and you're like, oh, that's funny. And I put a lot of time into Wild Hearts S on Switch too as well. So because I liked that game when it came out initially, and so I was giving it a go there. And what I thought was hilarious is I kept having all these visual pop-up issues like shadows and textures loading in. I was like, man, this is a bad port. So I actually went back and loaded up the Xbox Series X version of that game, and it has the exact same problems.
Exact same, yeah. It's a dog shit game, technically, but the actual game is fun. It's frustrating. Yeah. I do just want to quickly point out as well. I've been playing a game called Lysaria, on Steam. There's like it's a closed beta test at the moment. But it is like it is a spiritual successor to one of my favorite games of all time, which is Majesty, the Fantasy Kingdom sim, which is a real-time strategy game where you don't have direct control over your units. So like you can upgrade like facilities and stuff, but like they do their own thing, and you can sort of influence them by like putting bounties on enemies or like encouraging people to like defend things and stuff like that. Anyway, it's a really lovely game. And I'm glad that it exists. Anyway, Nintendo 20 questions. It has been a while. I am the Game Master this week. So yeah. Lay it on me.
Did this game release before the 2000s?
No.
Why was that so like question mark? No.
Did this
No,
game
it was
release
not.
in the 2000s?
Yeah, released in the 2000s.
Did this game release in the 2010s?
Sorry,
It had to
wait,
release in the 2000s.
Oh,
Or
is
the
that what you
2000s,
like?
that's the decade.
Oh, we're not. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. In my brain, 2000s includes like the entire fucking century.
I would have said like the 21st century then. My God.
Sorry,
alright,
we weren't clear enough, Angelo.
Oh my God. Get
you
off
need to be
my
really
planet.
specific. Okay, was this game released on a
This
Nintendo home
generally wasn't even a bit. Like, I actually was confused for a second. Like, I'm not even being an idiot.
Oh.
What was
Sorry.
that?
Was this game released on a home console?
It was released on a home console, yes.
Was this game on Wii?
This game was on Wii.
Should I rephrase
Yeah.
that? Should I ask
Yeah.
it a stupid way? Can
Like,
I
what was
rephrase the question?
You can rephrase the question, yeah.
Okay. Was it released on Wii?
Yeah, it was released on Wii.
Okay, cool.
What do you mean? Oh, okay.
Like,
get some clarification
its
on that.
initial release was it on the Wii? Was it not a
Okay,
GameCube game that was
it's-
also playable on the Wii?
Its initial relay. Okay, so this is such a complicated way to do it.
Yeah,
It is
I
playable-
asked the question stupidly.
It is playable on Wii, but its initial platform was not the Wii.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to make it any easier.
All right,
You'll
okay.
understand when you get there, but like it's a Wii game, but like it's not the first place that you could have played it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So it was a re-release for the Wii, is what we're getting at.
So it could be one of the new play control things, or it could be Twilight Princess.
Yeah, like a Pikmin.
Was this game published by Nintendo?
It was not published by Nintendo.
That Trauma Center game on Wii, was that originally on DS?
Mm-mm.
No, it's a different
Was it
one.
Its
It's
own
own
game.
Okay.
Was this game developed in Japan?
This game was developed in Japan.
Okay, that narrows it down to about 17,000 Wii games. What are the chances it's a download game on Wii?
Was this game released via WiiWare?
This game was not released via WiiWare.
So the game originally came out in the 2000s. So it must have been originally released on N64 or GameCube.
Let's calm down.
That was the question. Did it come out
The
in
release,
the 2000s?
the release that I'm talking about came out in the
Yes.
2000s. Yes.
So this version of the game
This
came out
version
on
of the
Wii
game came
in the
out on
2000s.
Wii in the 2000s.
But there may
Doesn't
be
mean
another
that-
version of the game but when it was originally released, perhaps in the 90s or 80s.
Okay. I already don't like this one. Just putting that out there.
I mean, like, I think knowing that it's like a remake or like a re-release is actually quite narrowing, to be honest. Trying to think of like what it could be.
Can we just confirm how many questions we're up to?
13 is what I've got. So 12 and a guess.
13
Okay.
remaining.
It was published. Oh, sorry, it was developed in Japan.
Yeah.
Is the developer of this game still in business today?
It is still in business today.
Interesting.
Not some random studio that made one game and then ported it 20 years later and then fucked off to who knows where.
Was it?
I feel like
I
sorry.
was gonna
Okay,
say,
yeah.
was it that Boy and His Blob game? But I think that was like 2010.
I think I did that, right?
Yeah, we've
Didn't I do that game? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure the Wii version was made in America anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it
that
was.
too.
So maybe like a Squeenix Capcom, Konami. Square Enix is pretty on brand for Ollie.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Problem with
Is it
having
Square
having a
Enix game?
type.
Is it a Square Enix game? No, it's not a Square Enix game.
And we confirmed that it's not a Nintendo one, right?
Not published by Nintendo, so
Not published. Okay.
I'm just trying to think on
Okay.
old games that may have gotten a new life, and I can't think of anything.
Was this game published by Konami or Capcom?
It was not published by Konami or Capcom.
Could be Sega.
Did this game actually use like Wii motion controls?
It did not.
Should we ask if it was a digital game?
We asked if it was a WiiWare game already.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. What was the answer?
No.
Okay.
Okay, was this game
So-
a remake of its original release?
It was not a remake of its original release.
All right, so
Yeah,
was
it
it?
means a port? Could be in a collection.
Thinking Punch Out, but that's clearly Nintendo. Trying to think of games that would have come out.
Do we feel like the console that the original game came out on would help us, or no?
Maybe.
Were there many NES or SNES re-releases on Wii, or were there any GameCube games?
Not that weren't download games, right?
Yeah,
That's the thing.
But we also don't know that it was a console. It could have been a Game Boy game that got a port to the Wii.
I still don't like this one.
You can look at genre. I don't know if that'll help.
Is this game considered to be a platformer?
This game is considered to be a platformer.
All right, that was a lucky first hit.
Alright, so what platform has got a re-release on Wii that came out on another console
That weren't from Square Enix, Capcom, Konami, or Nintendo.
and came out physically, presumably?
Yeah. Is this game part of a long-running series?
This game is not part of a long-running series.
How many questions do we have left?
I got 5 and a guess. I'm trying to think on what.
Are there any
platformers-
Pokemon games that got a re-release on Wii?
Yeah, but they would have been published by Nintendo.
Oh yeah, right.
And if it wasn't, it would have been a digital game, which we already excluded.
Platformer.
Could I ask if it was multi-platform? Was this game multi-platform?
I think I might know what it is.
Oh, here we go.
That's a difficult question. It has at various stages been available to play on other platforms.
Okay. So it's got to be relatively popular then if it's gotten multiple releases.
I expect it's Klonoa. Because that was PS1 originally. They got a port to the Wii.
Who is that published by?
Bandai Namco.
Could ask with Bandai Namco or Sega. You could ask for both of those. Or just Bandai Namco.
I don't think Sega had anything that was.
That's some
from their
Sonic
old
games, but I don't think
platforms.
they were re-releases though.
Although
That's
mostly
why I asked if it was
ports, but
multi-platform because I wondered if it was like Sonic. No, Sonic Unleashed didn't get a port, did it?
not on Wii anyway.
Hmm.
Is this game published by Bandai Namco?
This game is not published by Bandai Namco.
Damn.
I can already tell you're going to be like really bad when you find out what it is.
Can you, Ollie? Can you already tell?
I can.
All right.
You gotta put a little anger meter next to my face, Luke, on these.
Man, I
I'm
thought
not
I thought I was
sorry, though.
I thought I was on track with Klonoa.
Yeah, it's not a bad one.
Can we Sorry, my brain just fucking turning off. How many questions and guesses do we have?
3 and a guess.
3 and a guess.
Was the platform this game initially released on a Nintendo platform?
It was not.
Yeah, there's the problem.
Okay.
That's what I was just wondering when I asked if it was multi-platform. I'm like, oh, what if this came out on PlayStation originally or something?
We can ask if it's 2D or 3D. But I'm not sold on that question.
I was thinking Samba de Amigo for a second because there was a Wii version of that and it was on the Dreamcast. That was definitely a music game, not a platformer. But it was Knights on the Wii.
But yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, platform. Knights a
Was
platformer?
Knights a sequel though? I think it was a sequel, right? I don't think it was the game.
Weren't there two? Wasn't there a re-release of the original and a sequel?
I don't know. I remember the sequel coming out.
Hmm.
You could ask if it originally came out on Saturn.
I could ask if it was published by Sega, but I
Yeah.
honestly don't know anything about the game to narrow it down to that.
Did it feature a flying jester?
Knights was one of those games that I saw like advertised as a kid that like blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like it looks so
Abe's-
sick.
Abe's Odyssey was another one, just because of like the graphical fidelity of the FMVs or whatever. And then you play it and you're like, oh, okay, it's just a platformer.
Yeah.
Very slow.
What was this game? I'm just gonna fucking ask. So was this game originally released on Sega Saturn?
And this game was not originally released on the Sega Saturn.
Was it published by Sega?
It was published by Sega.
Okay.
Cool. Now we have to
God.
guess.
Oh, do we not have one more question?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
Because I'm thinking, like I'm just trying to think what was on Dreamcast from Sega and then what came to Wii. Like Crazy Taxi, but that was published by Acclaim.
I mean, it's also not a platformer.
Definitely not a platformer.
I'm still thinking of like a Sonic game. Maybe.
Billy Hatchet was on the. Oh no, it was on GameCube, not Wii.
Sonic Adventure never got a re-release, did it, on Wii?
I don't know anything. I don't know much about Sonic.
I think it got re-released on like PC and Xbox Live Arcade in like 2010 or 2011. I think that's where I'm getting tripped up.
Man, we should have asked the meta question. Like I doubt we've like mentioned it, but like just in case.
Yeah.
I've got nothing. Like this.
I'll give you a
this is
freebie.
rough
You have
one.
not mentioned it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, okay, all right.
If we're not mentioning that, I think we're really shit out of luck.
Just guess a game, Luke. Just any game you could think of.
Oh, just a Wii
And
game.
again, doesn't have to be a platformer or a Wii game. Just literally the first game that goes into your head. Just guess it.
Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Man, banger game. Just say.
Was there a Virtual Fighter's not a platform? I honestly I can't think of anything.
Yeah, my brain is like locked up.
Yeah. I think we're just calling it in, Ollie. I don't think
Well-
we have anything.
Just calling it in.
Yeah, we're calling it in. No idea.
You're gonna be so mad. So,
Here we go.
I want to preface this with this isn't something that has been done before, so I wasn't sure if I should do it, but I thought it might be an interesting idea to see how
Okay.
we handle these going forward.
All right, I'll let it slide.
I think
Continue.
I know what he's gonna do.
Released originally in 1994 on the Sega Mega Drive and then re-released on the Virtual Console for Wii in 2007 or 2009, depending on the region. Which I will note, Virtual Console is separate from WiiWare. They're companion products, not the same thing. This
Yeah,
game
I was going to call
developed-
that out, but yeah.
This game was developed by Game Freak and published by Sega for the Sega Mega Drive. It is Pulse Man.
No,
Okay, I would never have guessed Pulse Man anyway,
Okay.
but like, yeah, okay.
I mean, it's a fairly. I mean, it's available on Nintendo Classics now as well. But
See-
yeah, it is.
I gave Ollie too
hate-
much credit. In my head, I'm like, oh, he's never going to be a jerk and call out a virtual console game and gussy it up as a re-release on another console.
Okay, so
But there we
here's-
are. That's
right,
the
so,
world we
like,
live in.
Originally, this game was released in 1994, but originally on a Nintendo console, this game was released on 2007. So how do you handle that, right? Because I couldn't like if I had said, oh, this. Was originally released in 2004, and then you were like, okay, well, is it a home console? Yes, you would be like, okay, it's a Super Nintendo, or the NES, or the, N64 maybe.
Well,
But
we
then,
just
like,
go off
you
whatever
would've
the
guessed all
release
of
date
those,
was,
and
for
none
the-
of those would have been
first
it, and you would have been
appearance
like,
on Nintendo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have just gone with the initial release rather than the re-release on another platform.
yeah. See, it's a weird situation, right? Especially because like most Virtual Console games are games from prior Nintendo consoles, so like there is precedent there. But like it being a Sega thing it's different, right? Anyway, I
I'll
thought
allow
this would
this.
be.
No,
I'll
but-
allow this for science, but like, I'm more angry about the WiiWare situation, to be honest.
Yeah, no. We've had re-released games before, but we've always gone with the initial release and then said that it has come to another console, to a Nintendo console. That's how, at least I think I've done a game like that before, where I've been like, oh yeah, no, it wasn't originally a Nintendo game, but it came out on Nintendo consoles later.
Yeah, I mean,
I honestly
I'm
don't
not
remember.
sure.
We've done too many of these episodes for me to like remember like all the schematics.
You do realize that, Ollie,
anyway.
you have opened Pandora's box here. So I'm
I
now
absolutely
this as
have.
well.
Yeah.
I understand that. Okay, so like I was just thinking, like I didn't prepare this beforehand, but like it popped into my head, and I was like, that's an interesting thing because I don't know how we handle Virtual Console games, right? It's like there's
give you a
no
hint,
easy
not
way
well.
to answer. Yeah, I mean I get that. Like this is like ostensibly a loss, but like I think like there was no possible way that you could have honed
I
in
think
on
we
that.
need an ever evolving rules charter. Like,
Yeah.
we write down like a core set of rules, and whenever we come into like some type of dumb situation where like something is unclear, we just add like an extra rule. Then we have this like never-ending scroll of like 150,000 rules for 20
Oh,
questions.
so it's just like, what, we have like a random handicap, is that what it is?
No, that's not necessarily a random handicap, but we can we can just write down if situations like this happen, like what the rules are around them. So it's clear that if we ask a question in some particular way, that we're getting like this type of answer.
Okay, so this is something that I think viewers should, or listeners can give input on. I've been thinking of adding additional aspects to this where beyond just the regular 20 questions, which is a yes or no thing, you could trade a certain amount of questions, like 2 questions, for a hint, or trade 3 questions to ask a question that isn't a yes or no answer. So I don't know what people think of that. If like you're really struggling, it's like, okay, we've got 3 questions left. We've kind of got like the genre, but we don't know much more else about it. I'll trade all 3 of those questions for, is this like what platform did this release on, or whatever, right? I think there can be some interesting things in there. I don't know if that ruins the sanctity of the game or whatever. I think people should think on it. I
After
think we should
today,
get
I feel like the
feedback.
sanctity of the game is already ruined, quite frankly.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was a massive dick move of me to
No,
pick
like, it's
something in that
at the
specific
end of the day,
situation.
It's just a game. Like, I don't think anyone
Yeah.
actually cares. It's just more of a fact of like,
it's no different
it's-
it's no different to when like a game's released on Wii 6 months after it released on Xbox 360. because we would go off the Wii release date because that's what we're talking about, the Wii version. So I think in terms
Yeah.
of Virtual Console, because its first ever release on a Nintendo platform was in the 2000s, that's the date you would go by. The fact that it happened to be released on another platform earlier is kind of irrelevant because we see it all the time with like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. Oh, sorry, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That released on 360, and then like 2 years later, the Wii got it. So if we were playing 20 Questions with that game, we would base it off the Wii's release date, even though it was released on another platform first. So
I also think
It
this
just
like
there
we
happened to be over a decade between the releases, which complicates things dramatically.
I also think like we
Anyway.
play a bit of a dice roll on like how literally we take a question. Like sometimes we don't take it like very literally, and we answer like the underlying question that someone's asking. But sometimes we like get a question, we just take it like to the letter. Like that is exactly what you asked, and that is all I'm going to answer.
yeah, because
I feel like
if I had
maybe
said, was this a digital game?
that concept needs to be like tightened down. Either we
I said
answer
digital,
things
yeah.
exactly to the letter and like that's it, or we,
Yeah, I mean,
try
I
and do
felt
things a
bad
bit
when you
open.
were like, well, it's definitely
No.
not downloadable, and it's like, well, that's not what you asked, though. But I couldn't like correct you without just giving away that it was a Virtual Console game, right? Like it was
Totally, it's
it was
fine.
impossible. Yeah. Anyway, I do want people to think about those potential changes to the format, and I want listeners to tell us what they think, or if they have any other suggestions to shake things up a bit, because I love Nintendo 20 Questions, but like I think there's more that we could be doing with it that could be interesting and more fun, rather than just like getting mad because we haven't heard of a game.
30 questions. Ooh.
30 questions, sure.
Nintendo 30
anyway.
questions. Sure, why not? Let's go for it.
Just one question. Anyway, that wraps up this episode of the Vookcast. Very long one, but we haven't been on for 2 months, so it makes sense. Be sure to visit the site, vooks.net, for all your Nintendo news, reviews, and everything in between. To keep up to date, follow the site on Blue Sky, which is at vooks.net, or jump on over to our Discord at bit.ly/VooksDiscord. You can find all of our social information and links for all of the stories covered in this episode. Well, maybe not all of them, but most of them. In the episode notes on whatever platform you're listening to. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in the next show.